So this video is a collection of, I wouldn't say random, but a variety pack. And the first thing I really like to do is to thank all of you viewers, I would say rather listeners, because there really isn't so much video on it. And I like to come clean is that this is a unprofessional professional job. I have professional knowledge in this subject, but the video is not professionally done because I am not a full-time YouTuber, and so I wanted to just have some kind of the background video and put a voice over so I can get the information out as quickly as possible and in one go without editing. That way that I'm not spending days or weeks on one video, and the advantage too is that most people have to do that because they have to research and find other information. I already have most of the information, just because like if you're a doctor, right, you already know where your anatomies and the common diseases and the drugs or chemical pharmaceutical or whatever the cure procedures are. But if you're not, then you have to dig into that. So anyways, thank you all your viewers to put over this kind of unprofessional presentation of a professional, or should I dare say professional videos. And again, this video, these series of I always wanted to do videos that I was interested in. Never really got around to it, but I repeat myself is that what started it, get me started it, is because of the Air India crash, which I feel is not just the most mysterious, or some people say the worst, in so much time, or the first of the 787. I think it's just because in my opinion, is the worst crash in aviation, the worst fail in aviation history in every way. This was covered in previous videos, so I'm not intending to repeat myself. Again, this is a variety pack of info video. So following this Air India crash, again, which I feel is the worst fail in aviation history, or in fact in recorded history. If anybody know any aviation before the Wright, I mean not just before but well before the Wright brothers, like I know the Chinese in ancient time had hang gliders and stuff. God, who knows, they might have steam engine powered airplanes, but nevertheless the Wright brothers were the official first control power flight, and that's the important extinction. It's not the first flight, it's the first control power flight, and that is another topic unto itself. Maybe I'll make a video on that too. So my point is that following this Air India crash, and there seems to be obviously the airlines and the authorities seem to have no interest whatsoever to be accountable or give the public any information other than the minimum required by law. Well, the interesting is that this crash would not have happened. In a lot of other crashes that happened, I would say that especially in the Boeing 737 problems and all that, would not have happened if they did follow the law. So to say that they follow the law is a little bit of an overstatement. So in that light, obviously there are a lot of things waiting to happen, and sadly I don't expect this will be the last. It may be the last of this magnitude of fail, but again, this is just my personal opinion or prediction that this will not be the last catastrophic preventable crashes of in commercial aviation. I hope not, but I feel that there will be many to come. because the airplanes that are defective, they're not going to fix them. I mean, it would cost probably more than buying a new one. So this is going to keep them in service, and yeah, maybe they're required to, check that every, maybe it could be as bad as they have to check in every flight. And there are some of the things that I've heard that are so poorly done that they have to check it after every flight. And I don't know exactly what it is, but they were like structural things and stuff. And I think this is scary because what happens if it fails between checks, such as in flight. So this is one topic that I like to put in, is that in my prediction, I'm not saying that this is going to be, it's just what I know, is that you will have not seen the last of this type of things yet. So given that, and the operators and the authority obviously have shown they have had no interest. In fact, I think they promoted it. Money over safety, and now some 500 people plus have directly died from this. So you and I, or even the pilots, the people working with these companies, they obviously have they're not going to affect the change. And look at how many unnecessary crashes, and a lot of the things that led to these crashes have been repeated. Back into even before the jet age. The authority gave out a directive or require a fix, and nobody's done it, and the same thing repeated. And there are many double repeats. In recent times, the 737 rudder problem, the 737 MAX, things to do with, in the past in the 70s, depressurizations, fire problems. They thought, again, it's like, well, we have, the authorities have, in the US, it's like the FAA have issued fixes, but, they haven't done it because they've been busy flying passengers around, and they're making money, so they don't have any downtime to put in the fix, even though it's required by law. So what does it leave us? Well, what does it leave us is that, well, you have basically two layers. You can make your choice between making models of airplanes, and between the manufacturers and the operators, the airlines and operators. Actually, this is interesting because people use operator because the airplane business is so expensive. There are a lot of things that are hidden. The public doesn't know. Is that the people who own these airplanes may not be the ones who operate it, and they could be switching hand. Like even just like rent an airplane from another owner to fill in the gap, and they will be waving the flag of their own company, but the airplane actually don't belong to them, and they have one airplane down and just kind of rent it from another, not even an airline, another owner that has such an airplane, been sitting there for years, and they just spent like 2 hours trying to get this gigantic, commercial airline going. And this is when things go wrong. You can't be sitting for years. You can't just get it ready in 2 hours. It takes days and weeks, or maybe even months to do that. So that's when things go wrong. And so there's a lot of things that hidden from the public. So you have a choice of the manufacturer of the aircraft and the owner operator, provided you know about it. There has been even airlines that have one airline operated livery, or paint logos on one side and the other airline on the other side. I mean, go figure, and so if something goes wrong, you go up to the airline and say, well, we haven't got anything to do with it, because actually the pilots and the flight and everything belong to another company. They just put the airline's logo and the name on the ticket, and that's all. You're going through a tube, through the whatever, what do you call it? That tube that you walk into the airplane nowadays. You don't even see the outside of the airplane, so you don't know. I mean, you don't even know what's painted. What you don't even know what you walk into is actually just an airplane at all. I mean, unless you can see it from the gate through the windows, you could be walking into a bus. I mean, with no wings. You don't know. So there's a lot of problem with that. And the other thing is that you can choose not to fly. You can vote directly with your money. So that's one thing I like to touch on. So anyway, I can't say enough about you viewers to have enough interest and level of ability to digest and comprehend and interest in these things, that the videos are very dry, it's not very entertaining, it's just pure information, and just listen to me talk. In the future I might have time to put in more sort of professional presentation, but as far as I'm concerned, the most important thing is the information, and more importantly is that the reason for this channel that started because of the Air India crash is because I wanted to compliment the other amazing people, most of them like pilots, or most of them pilots who put in a lot of research and they use their experience to put in what they know. But I think there's a little bit of a gap, and I like to chip in my part from a technical perspective. So that's the reason. It's never meant to be some kind of a big hit on a YouTube. It's almost like a citizen duty, if you like. That's all. So thank you all, viewers or listeners, and probably it'll be nice to. I mean, it's not the goal, but it will be nice to have more subscribers, because that in turn will be able to fuel what you would want to see, watch, or learn. So we actually it's a cooperative effort. So if you have the support, then I'll be able to do more. So thank you all. That's it for today.